All right, traders, welcome on back here to close this thing out here for this Friday, end of the week at least, beginning of the month though, August 1st. Great to see Kerry with us still here. Kevin just before. Roberto just, had a great conversation with him just a moment ago. Scott, Matt, Margaret, Dave, all of us just joining us still here inside our live trading room. Give me a quick sound check to begin. Make sure I'm good to go here for you. And hopefully we're all good to go together because the market's been kind of dragging back down a little bit. Starting to get a little bounce maybe. Is this the case? Is this going to be a nice little squeeze back up? I certainly hope so. Just for all of us here, just let me know if we're good here together. There we go. Day here, Carrie, Kevin. I see Anna here. Tony, Michael, got Ron, Wendy, all of us just here though joining us. So without further ado, let's hop into it. The market's pulled back a little bit today, and I think there was some news that came out with Trump and Russia. Sending, I think, like nuclear submarines over towards there, he said. Do with that as you will. That's not what led the market to tank, at least here or from yesterday. It was just kind of coming off the Fed meeting, at least, right? Now, we do have a little squeeze up at this point. The one thing I was calling out going into this week from Friday, was that we had a little gap on the SPY that hasn't 100% been filled. It got kind of close this day, but not all the way through to the close price here. It blew right through this line early this morning. So is there at least a tiny chance that we can get a full-fledged squeeze back up to 629? I guess a non-zero chance, we'll say, right? I'll break out the pom-poms and try and cheerlead that move on. But as far as the market goes, lower highs, lower lows, a few trades that we've been following as good shorts here. Shack, at least from more Wednesday into Thursday than this morning. The Novo trade looks like this is starting to bounce a little bit here and was up from yesterday, but this was also one from Wednesday into yesterday. That was a great drop, so maybe something could have happened there again. I saw Intel drop off a lot here today, at least. So this was drooping back down with the market just before. It's possible we could follow Intel at least as a short. We'll go through some name brand stocks in just a moment to see if there's anything moving from that side. What we'll do though here, if I get my scanner out properly, there we go. From top to bottom, we'll go. And we'll look to recap any of the moves that we caught from earlier or moves that we just called out before. So Lobo, L-O-B-O, this was a nice trade from earlier. Squeezed up a little late on us here, so we called it out a little after the fact as it was pushing up over $1, up towards like 110, and topped off around 125. We did have resistance, though, at the time. This is at like noon Eastern, 12:20 Eastern time at $1.30, $1.30, big iceberg. So if it's not going to try and build higher lows here and try and consolidate better, no surprise it tanked. Now, thankfully, it tried to make one more move up just before. So, are we going to put this on our list? Is it worth watching still? Yeah, for now it is. If we go through this meeting and then this just totally tanks, gets halted even on the way down, and we'll take it off. But for right now, we'll put it there. All right, let's just go across the list, though, here. Otherwise, we'll be pretty quick because this is a buyout. That's no surprise. Buyouts don't move. Marrowin was a nice trade from pre-market this morning into the open. Beautiful move, at least at the time, but pulled back. Same with TNON off of 115, 120. That was our first call out at that point. Then from there, the re-break over 150. All these trades we're done with, though, now for the most part. If they're popping and then dropping already, we're done. This is dropping and then popping, so kind of inverse to that. At least for right now, FDMT will easily put on our list, right? Nice trend. Order book containable for right now. Spread not horrible. Good size for the time being. Hopefully this doesn't empty out here before the closing bell. Is this the inverse to Coinbase? Yeah, it is. Okay, so listen, there's also some good, not just shorts, but inverse trades. I think the MSTZ was a nice inverse trade that we had called out earlier today. Would have found that on the gainer side anyway there. But CONI, this is cheap. It's going up a little bit, or it was throughout the day. I'm not going to put this on our list now at this point. If there's anything that's like holding better to the highs, that's basically the name of the game. Even this A-Tech here, it looks pretty good. It actually reminds me of the trade from yesterday, the RSI stock. Again, not the indicator, Ruth Street Interactive, but this thing just kept going. And it was one that we were a little unfamiliar with. We didn't really know too much about. Kind of reminds me here of this A-Tech because the spread's still good. Hasn't broken out yet, though. Hasn't popped high of the day just yet, but interesting enough. I'll add it. Look at Reddit number 8 on the gainers list here today, huh? So is this back to all-time highs or what? Yeah, it's kind of getting there. Got a ways to go though. Another like 15, 20% maybe just from loose math. We'll pass on the Reddit trade for the time being. Good day though, I'm sure, off earnings. Market squeezing back up a little bit. So UVXY pulling back, UVIX, these ETFs. CRDF, yeah, it's kind of holding its own there. Not bad. This is not, so we'll scrap it. RKT with a nice bounce at least here. So we're going to play both sides of the coin. If this is just a lower high in the market and we drag down, we do want to focus on some shorts. But otherwise, if we get more of a squeeze within the market, this RKT, it's not like a small cap stock. It ended up making a good move. And this is the type of stock that could kind of hold its own as the markets do pull back either way. So I'll add the RKT. I will add MB. I don't know where this just came from. Nice squeeze back up as we're talking. So great order book. Nice move here. I don't know where this trade came from, but don't mind if I do. TNGX not showing as good momentum, at least there, comparing those two trades. Open, definitely not either, even though I'm actually in this trade from $2 right now. We just got off coaching session going over that. NVTS had a good squeeze earlier today. I took a loss on this as a swing trade earlier this week. Maybe right place, wrong time. Maybe. And for right now, I'll put it on our watch list here for the afternoon because it's like a decent day trade stock either way. Getting closer to the high, so definitely respect that. All right, NEO, not the NIO trade, the Chinese EV company. We're talking Neogenomics. Right, a little flat here, a little slow. It's at the high of the day, so that part you like. Just you want something with a little bit more, like oomph to it, a little bit more life to it. This thing looks a little dead. Kind of wasting my time here for the next 80, 90 minutes here otherwise. And same with Fold. Fold's kind of moving back up over the last 37 minutes here, about 9 pennies. Not terrible. I think that we've seen a lot better though, right? All right, so we'll hop over to the loser side here, seeing if there's anything looking just as good, if not better. Maybe it's a short, maybe it's a dead cat bounce, either way. Not near the lows enough here, this ENVX, but dropped off a lot earlier. Could have been a good short. LIDR is no surprise. Definitely not shortable, though. Lumen, even if this is, again, it's not really near the lows. Dropped off earlier. Now, Amazon took a hit, right? So, I was working with a student earlier just on Amazon. The thought of this potentially filling the gap here, especially if the markets crap out and keep dropping off over time. You just got to plan for all scenarios. But otherwise, though, Amazon loves filling gaps of its own too, even to the downside here. It took about a month or so for this gap to get filled over time. So it won't shock me to see Amazon come back up and retrace. But yeah, I mean, for the afternoon today, it has been a great short. It is bouncing a little bit right now, I reckon, but I'll put it on our main list for this afternoon. Coin, not enough liquidity on the book normally for me to be as interested in coin. Roku had bad earnings, I reckon, there too. Dropped off a lot. SMR, pretty volatile stock. So if you do well on trades like SMR and OKLO, you know who you know who you are. You know who I'm speaking to here. So you definitely put that on your personal watch list then, right? All right. MSTR might be the weakest of the larger cap stocks. So listen, this is pretty thin in terms of the stock itself. That's where I'd rather go back to this, the MSTZ. This goes inverse to that other trade. So remember, like we do short here, but we don't need to short, especially now if there's some trades that specifically go inverse and just have much better volume to focus on. That's all. All right, folks, just let me know any other stocks or trades you want me to look at before we wrap it up here. From Larry on the BBAI. I like that trade whenever the markets are up, and this is up. This is up, just the markets are not. I guess they're bouncing a little bit, you could say, right? But, for the afternoon, we've seen the stock trade so much better with more momentum, more volatility, where it's a little bit more worth the time. It's a nice swing trade chart, though, Larry. If you're looking at this as a swing trade chart, look to see if this can contain better over this area. Pretty local support right around 625. Probably got to go back further on the long-term graph to get a better level. But, for the time being, it's not a bad swing chart, though. Damon, yeah, the UVXY, you know what, with the overall movement, I guess got to show this a little love and put this on our list just at the end of it, because if the markets keep tanking, then this would be a good opportunity, right? So it doesn't hurt for us to put this on our list. All right, we'll check out Benzinga Pro, folks, before we call it, and then I'll do pretty quick meeting if I say so myself here, right? I mean, not really need to make it too long because we know what we're working with here this afternoon, don't we? MP's not really like trading a lot of volume on the order book, but it's a really healthy long-term graph. We like the MP trade long-term. RKT is already on our list. We do like that one just for the afternoon. A lot of this low volume crap out here. So I think that's pretty much my cue. I think that's my calling here to wrap up. So hey, if you're on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the wraps, I got to clean the gerbil out the webcam here, but we'll be back on Monday at least right away in the morning, 9 o'clock Eastern. But a couple of things, if you're new to our channel heading into this weekend, just make sure to hit the follow or subscribe button right down below right there. Just that'll keep you in tune with all of our live audio broadcasts that we do. We're live all throughout the week, but just so you know, just join us right on YouTube at Cyber Trading You. If you wanted to join us inside our live trading room, though, just continue the next steps with us at least there. Go right down to the link scrolling on the bottom there below, ctu.co/trial. I'll take you right to our web link, our landing page to just join us for a week-long small membership. But otherwise, last reminder here, folks, we're going to send out emails, of course, on top. I know that we have already. But, we've been mentioning all throughout this morning here today. Fausto is doing a bit of a rare Saturday morning webinar with the fine folks over at TickBlaze. Whoops, that is the wrong screen to be zooming in on. There we go. This is it. Here we are. So tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, just make sure to register. We're going to just copy and paste that link below, especially if you're inside our live trading room. But we've done this just even from this morning. We'll post the link if you're on social media right now. If you're on the YouTubes right now, actually, we just posted it right there in the chat live. So you could just join us with that registration link right there. All you got to do is just fill out your contact information and you yourself will be good. And hey, if you're not going to join us live tomorrow, then just register anyway, because you're going to get the recording of it sent direct to email once we're done with TickBlaze just tomorrow morning. All right. Fine folks at TickBlaze, Sean Kozak. He actually did a podcast with Fausto back, maybe it was a month or two ago, on our channel on the YouTube that we have here. So again, even furthermore reason, folks, just down below at Cyber Trading You is our YouTube. Now, though, with that said, for all of us just inside our live trading room, give me a quick moment here. In fact, I'm going to catch my breath, but if you don't mind, I'm actually going to just strip the screen for a moment here, and then I'm going to reset just once I finish up with you. All right, so the screen will be back up in just a moment, but we'll be back on with audio coming up at 3:05 Eastern.